Acheron Waste.
And here we go. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of Acheron Waste, the Red Protoss player. A win here means he wins the group. Is Rupuck. And his opponent. Some of the best ZvZ on the planet. His ZvP ain't no slouch either. One map away from round of 16 play in Santa Monica. It is Jaedong.
I'd love to see Jaedong in Santa Monica.
I think win or lose here, he's probably going to be there.
You know, you saw his tweet before Dreaming, right? Where he's like, hey, how far is Ibiza? I think Jaedong right now is like, Vegas, how far?
Maybe he's thinking, hey, here the clubs in LA are pretty happening.
Yeah, Jaedong is quite a baller. Jaedong gets VIP access to every club in LA.
Certainly gets every VIP access to every club in Seoul. As we see the pool going down.
Spending that esports money. Jaedong opening safe once more, getting pool before hatch.
You know, we know how these Korean girls love their pro gamers. I wager this club's probably paid Jaedong to be there, just to bring in the honeys.
Good luck.
Ladies' night in the U.S. is like, hey, free drinks for the ladies. Ladies' night in Korea means Jaedong's gonna be there.
Hey, to be honest, I'd show up. See the hedge going down, Puck trying to block it a little bit, but once more it's pretty hard to get your Nexus down in time and still keep blocking and get the Forge down. Interesting wall-off over here with the first pylon over here. Should probably take notes because my wall-offs on this map are awful. I'm always just like, it's a new adventure every time I play on Eklund. It's like, how am I gonna wall-off this time, man? You know, never works out. The good old days where you can just get a pylon over here and then get a gateway and a core. Those were my days, man. Those days my wall-offs were good. Cause this gap is like too big right now for just this Stalker or Zealot. So I'm curious to see how Puck's gonna solve this. At the same time, we can see him trying to slow down this base a little bit. Jaedong is just taking that third hatch faster and faster, by the way.
Yeah.
I like how Puck is gonna try to do something about it.
Says, oh no, you don't.
Because 2 links is also not enough to stop it.
Unfortunately, I think this probe might be doomed to a short life. Oh, the jukes!
You know what he could do? Build a gate. He's not gonna do it. He doesn't want to slow his build order down too much. At least he's slowing this hatchery down by a good 10 to 15 seconds.
Yep. Finally does go down. What's going on here, Puck?
He built a pylon. I think he was worried about some additional links because he didn't see, he had no information if more links were on the way. I guess slow but steady. It's a wall, but it's also a pretty weak wall in a way that it's very susceptible to.
Yeah, roaches on the low ground could kill that pylon as long as they can see up to the high ground.
Of course, if Jaedong goes up to 3 hatcheries, which Puck pretty much scouted, unless it was a big fake by Jaedong, but it's unlikely considering the fact how Jaedong has played out the first 2 games. Puck doesn't have to worry about anything like that. Of course, we're going to keep a close eye on certainly the main base of Puck, as from Jaedong, we can pretty much imagine he's going to drone up for a little while.
That link can walk up the ramp, see everything, and then walk down without getting shot at. That's a little bit upsetting for Puck, who is not going to hide anything behind that wall.
Overlord slowly but steady starting to get in position as well for Jaedong. One in between the bases, one is going to take a good position on the left side. Jaedong is most likely going to get good scouting information. I must say, big compliment to Jaedong, how he kept remaking those Overlords and Overseers in the last game.
Constantly.
Because of course the Void Raids were clearing it out, trying to make it harder for Jaedong to scout it all. But Jaedong just kept sending in Overlords / Overseers, making sure that what he saw and what he think he was seeing was absolutely correct, and he definitely did not overdrone them.
And how many times have we said it, Kev, where the true difference between a good player and a great player and the best player is the way that they scout. It's never ending, it's incessant. And Jaedong has really demonstrated that point here in this series. Even in game 1, which he lost, his scouting was excellent.
It hurts me when you say that when I open like Nexus first in most matchups and don't scout. So in your words, I'm a terrible player.
No, Kev, you're a good player.
But not a great player. I can live with that. Overlord starting to scout. The robotics facility is already going down. Jaedong might actually get very unlucky, Ben. Because I don't think he's going to be able to, maybe with this Overlord, I guess he will. Yeah. Jaedong is going to see it after all. We can see the layer going down, more and more drones on the way. Curious to see how Puck is going to go with this. Could just be a good old Immortal all-in. Could be a little bit of Stardust as well if he decides to drop a Twilight soon. And a second Forge, but
still possible that he could go up to 3 bases as well.
Yeah.
No,
this is still Acheron Waste.
There's no rule saying he can't go through those rocks and take a third.
But when you open up like this,
Man, the scouting is just never ending.
no. Warp Prism immediately. Perhaps just 4 zealots, like we know he likes to do. Stops at 48 probes though. Okay, one more probe in production, so it might be 49. I see a few more. On the other side, I can see the Twilight Council going down right now, and 4 additional gates. Might be the same push as in game 1.
Okay, the Overlord didn't see the Twilight Council, but they did see the gateways, I wonder.
I think it's going to be a very similar build to what we saw in Belshire, but Twilight going down, the first of Warp Prism, going to drop 4 zealots, try to pick up a Queen, slow down Jaedong a little bit, and then just move out with Sentry, Stalkers, +2 and Blink.
I think it would be a mistake for Puck to do the same exact thing as he did on Belshire Vestige. I feel like Jaedong's a caliber of player where he's not going to lose to the same all-in twice.
Yeah, no, already milking, building a lot of units. Now he's making a few additional drones. It's going to go up to 65. Puck pretended like he wanted to go up to 3 bases. And it might actually be for real this time.
Oh!
Losing that probe is very, very annoying.
It actually slows this down by like a whole
So
30
he might
seconds.
actually change his mind now. If he actually really wants to go up to 3 bases, he might change his mind now. You're not gonna wait until Sentries kill these rocks. It's gonna be past the 10-minute mark.
Now
even
here
with his
comes Big
Immortal.
Brother.
Boom. Even at the Immortals, he's gonna have to work overtime, man.
Are rocks still armored?
So
So like they take bonus damage from an immortal?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I'm not exactly sure. And wow, Puck's gonna lose his probe once more. Jaedong is just playing fantastic so far.
And this is so standard Jaedong, man. His scouting has been so phenomenal all series long. And now Puck's in this really awkward position where his Nexus, his third base, is a solid 2 minutes late. Here's that Zealot harassment we were talking about. This time it's been completely shut down.
Hasn't really killed anything. Hasn't killed a single drone. +2 on the way, Blink is on the way. Puck still wants to go to 3 bases though, so this has been delayed for more than a minute. This is excellent play by Jaedong. One of those small things, but this Nexus could have been done. Puck already could have transferred 7 out of these additional, 7 probes from this base. Maybe a big Zergling run by now as well. This is
wow. Jaedong is just turning it up a notch, man.
Oh no,
that is not how you want to handle a Zergling run by.
Well, he has a couple of Zealots, fortunately, and a Stalker over here, so it shouldn't be too bad right now for Puck. He's gonna lose a few probes, but that's it. Twilight Council going down now as well. See, if Stage Fate going down for Jaedong, Jaedong might be like, hey, you know what? I don't have to worry about any crazy 11-minute timing anymore.
Maybe
I'm gonna try to get some Swarmos up.
I think that's exactly what we're gonna end up seeing here. Is Jaedong's 4th base goes down. 4th base, right in line with the 3rd base of our Protoss player.
Puck should definitely take these simulators immediately so he can transfer as many probes as he has, because he has a lot of probes in his natural.
He's gonna be forced to play this so incredibly passively. He's basically incapable of attacking now.
Yep. And you know, Puck has also not really shown us that he loves Colossus in this matchup. Well, if Jaedong goes Hydralisk with Swarmos, it's gonna get pretty gnarly without Colossus. I mean, sure, he does have a Templar Archives, but I don't think that is for Storm necessarily. I think it's more for Archons, if anything. Loses Final as well. +2 is almost done for Puck. That's like the only good thing about this entire situation.
Puck's gonna move out on the map a little bit. I don't think this is an army that's gonna be capable of killing a whole lot, but I said that on Belshire Vestige as well.
Yeah. Jaedong's still even making drones for this. He's gonna go up to 73 workers. Now he's gonna make more and more Hydras. I do feel that the Grease Thread is even a lot better this time. And this army is just awful against Hydras. And we already have 25 of them. So he's gonna go up to 30 Hydralisk, and now a lot of links are in production for Jaedong as well. Of course, Puck does have the Mothership Core, but does he?
He has one. Where is it? There it is.
Coming.
Bringing up the rear.
So he could potentially, still go back. Jaedong also setting up a little bit of a flank this time, perhaps not a big one. Or it's going for a run by. Either way, it would be pretty smart. Jaedong is close to being maxed out.
Yes, sir. 195 supply. Just got a little bit supply blocked. Here comes that flank that we were talking about. Force fields go down for Puck. He's not got enough force field energy, Kev. As Hydras from behind kill off the Warp Prism. That means no more reinforcements. Puck forced to blink on top of those Hydras. I don't see this working out, man. There's just no way for him to keep adding to the push. Exactly. He's going to have to back off.
Without a Warp Prism, there's actually no way. That actually, like, he did sort of okay for a little while, but without a Warp Prism, it's absolutely impossible to continue this push. He also lost the Mothership Core pretty early on. Jaedong had so many Hydralisks. Storm is on the way, though. Storm is pretty good against Hydras. Ultralisk Cavern is almost done. Does he have a Spire? I don't think he does. Obviously, Broodlords would have been fantastic against this army, despite the fact that there are quite a few Blink Stalkers.
You know, I still like that push from Puck. It's very, very similar to what we saw on Belshir Vestige, but this time it has the added bonus of the third base. So he pushes with you know, hey, this might kill you. But in the case of it not killing you, I'm not going to fall back on 2 bases. I'm going to fall back on 3 so I can continue to play the game. 141 supply right now for Puck against the 180 or so of Jaedong.
Jaedong, of course, still in absolutely fantastic position, and this all just comes down to, as silly as it sounds, those couple of links denying that probe twice, of dropping that Nexus. If the Nexus goes down, we have a completely different ball game. Right now, Jaedong is in a fantastic position, but you know, the 3-base Protoss, we've seen crazier things. We saw Puck early today against Maxet. Never give up, never surrender. That was an even sicker comeback than this would be. But he's going to need to land some massive storms. He's going to need fantastic Blink Stalker micro once more. See the Ultralisk cavern going down, so Jaedong going for Ultras instead. Which of course is not a bad decision. Take a look at the Ling upgrades. Oh, 0-0.
I think the Ultras are a phenomenal choice against the army composition that Puck is showing us. It's pure Stalker, and so you throw in some Blinding Clouds, and Ultras are going to have a field day. Puck is on the move once again.
Actually, Puck has a super scary army right now for Jaedong, Ben. If those storms connect with those Hydras, only 22 Hydras this time. Feedback's going down, the Immortals are getting pulled in. Blinding Cloud is massive.
The storms were good, the Blinding Cloud was good as well. I think that's a pretty even fight. Puck is going to continue to push.
Puck making more and more Stalkers, 46 links on the way right now. He could really use a couple of Archons against all those links. Those Roadshow misrallied. You know, this is possible in a crazy world, but +3 is not ready yet.
I think Puck is playing a very dangerous game, pushing this far off creep against this many Zerglings. Here comes the Warp-In reinforcement.
49.
Supply-wise, it's very close. Puck's going to have great control. Stalkers are blinking back. Oh, this is way too many Hydras, I'm afraid, Kev. These Stalkers are not going to be able to stand up. Puck is blinking pretty well, falling all the way back to his reinforcements, but Jaedong has so much Blinding Clouds going down on top of the Stalkers. That's going to be the nail in the coffin, and Jaedong's going to take it. Or is he?
When he runs away, nah, it was still a reasonable fight for Jaedong. Jaedong is just going to regroup. He has 56 links on the way and 2 Ultras as well. So, yeah, Jaedong maybe could have stuck around there, but it would have also mean that he takes the risk of losing all those remaining Hydras. Why not back up? Why not regroup? Wait for all your reinforcements and then pick another fight.
The Remax gets him up to 180 supply, and this time it's going to have Ultras sprinkled in. So Puck's going to have an incredibly difficult time in his next engagement. I got to say, Puck is doing a really good job with his fights, but that was just a case of him not having a real answer to the Hydras.
For a second, I thought that could have gone a little better, but those Blinding Clouds were so good because he cast Blinding Clouds on top of those High Templars, and they're not even able to cast Storm from that position, right?
At
least it looked like
know about that.
I actually haven't been in that scenario all that many times.
That sounds wrong to me, but I've never tested it, so what do I know?
Either way, the Blinding Clouds were really good because most of the Stalkers were not fighting either, and the most annoying thing is when you stand in Blinding Clouds,
they run forward, not
your
back.
Stalkers run forward, and that's like one of the most frustrating things ever to deal with as a Protoss player. So Jaedong also just spreading out his units pretty damn well.
How big of a Warp-In is this going to be? It's going to be 4 Dark Templar? No Zealots.
He doesn't have a Dark Templar.
Cute transfusion there means that Puck will invest 4 Zealots and a Warp Prism to kill a Queen, which is a trade
Puck just wants to buy time for himself and get his 4th base, so that's not necessarily the wrong thing to do, but he still doesn't... He has 4 High Templars right now. He of course doesn't have gas for more. It would have been awesome to have like 8 or something. Oh, this is kind of cute. Wow, I haven't really seen something like this, but I do think it's very smart. Even though it's just going to buy him a little bit of extra time. But right now, you could say every second counts. Makes it a lot harder for these Ultras to engage.
It's not a tight wall, so the Ultras are going to try to attack through it. This is actually very smart from Puck.
I love this. This is so sick. I've not seen this yet.
That is wild, man. It's like the prison bars defense. Here we go. Ultras are going to look. See what happens. They try to go through, but they can't. It's too tight. They do find an opening. The Stalkers are going to blink back. Archon's doing what he can to absorb the shots. I love the idea out of Puck. Unfortunately, the numbers just don't add up, and Jaedong does break through.
No, actually, he's losing all of his Ultras once more, Ben. Then you're going to have to stop saying that, even though these Hydras still have a crazy amount of DPS with reinforcements coming in right now for Puck. Puck is going to be able to hold for now, but look at what J-Mac
he holds, but look at the supplies. It's 100 to 180.
I know. Of course, Jaedong is able to make trades like that because he has a 5th base as well. And the next time he's going to fight like this, his army is going to be a lot stronger because this time he will have +2 or 2-2 upgrades for his Zerglings and Ultras, but still pretty sick hold by Puck once more. You know,
the pylon wall was really super cool.
Yeah, I love it a lot as well. It's kind of like what Terran likes to do when they build a lot of bunkers, when they know that the Protoss just goes for a crazy amount of charge slots or make a couple of supply depots. As a Protoss, I haven't really seen it.
Next wave of the attack is already out. Zerglings, Ultras, and yes, more Ultras. Greater Spire also on the way behind it as Jaedong begins to transition over into Broodlords and eventually Infestors. Puck just doing what he can to stabilize and to reestablish some kind of an army.
If Jaedong gets up to, I mean, if Puck has up to 5 bases though, then I'm not so sure yet what is going to happen. He has to be really careful right now with what kind of position he puts himself into.
Man, this is so dangerous. Zergling run by into the 3rd base. Jaedong choosing not to engage right now. Puck really wants to save this Nexus. I don't know if it's going to be possible though. Ultras are going to catch a lot of units out of position. That's unfortunate. His Nexus falls anyway. As Puck, oh man, great pulls right there on the Immortals. They're going to immediately run backwards. Is there enough here for Puck? I feel like no.
If he keeps his Immortals alive, I think yes, man. These Ultras are dying pretty damn quick. This army has
Immortals
massive
do
DPS.
so much damage to Ultras. Stalkers are actually going to blink forward aggressively.
Man, if Puck is somehow able to come back in this game, that would be the sickest comeback ever. But losing that 4th base really hurts him because his natural is running super thin as well. Oh, and now 8 Infestors are in the way, and I think that will be the nail in the coffin. It's going to be a miraculous hold if he somehow defends against 8 Infestors.
It's one of these situations where Jaedong knows all he has to do is keep making trades because Puck can't keep it up forever.
Puck's gonna just max out on Archons. He has 4 Archons. A couple of additional Archons would be very good, but of course if Archons can't run away anymore, they die a little bit quicker to Ultras as well.
A few more Hydras being sprinkled in also. I like that choice.
But Jaedong is getting pretty poor, and of course he's going to mine out his 3 bases a little bit before Puck is going to mine out his 3rd base, because Puck had less workers on this base, and he took it a lot later.
I would not mind seeing a couple of DTs running around.
I think it would be awesome. It would be really good. So many links now, by the way. Jaedong also taking his 6th base right below a War Prison. Well, this is awkward.
That's probably going to get shut down. Meanwhile, we see another Zergling attack. One Immortal is going to be sent right back to Ire, as here goes our next big attack. Ultras in front. Archons under Blinding Cloud are not very effective. Immortals doing a great job hammering away at the Ultralisks, though. Here come the Fungals.
Oh my god, if Jaedong loses his army,
this is just incredible. Puck is going to hold, and this time Jaedong might have overextended.
Imagine if he has a couple of Blink Stalkers to chase down these Infestors.
Run, Archon, you're too fat. Kills 2 Infestors and is going to continue to give chase.
He's like, oh, look at that soccer. He's like, oh, to the shadows. Well, the Infestors are going to survive for now. Small Zergling run by perhaps.
Puck.
Zerglings did kill that 5th base though during all this. And if Puck loses his 4th base, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's going to be broke
this army is a scary army.
He's just going to go for it. It's all or nothing here. 180 supply against 140 supply.
Hydras,
the Hydras, though.
Storms.
Are there storms? There's one storm.
Blinding Cloud casting.
Only one storm. What a great game.
With 3 Archons, Puck's still going to try, but Jaedong right now pretty much doubling his supply. Charge loads are very good. If he had those a little bit quicker before he lost all those additional units.
If he had kept his base, you know, but unfortunately it just feels like eventually he's going to get overrun. Ling's just cleaning up the rest. Puck is going to march right up into the natural, where he's going to be met by an Ultralisk and some happy Zerglings.
Nice pickup over there, but now this Archon is going to die, and with that, I think the hopes of Puck are going to die as well. Puck will call GG in a great game.
So close. Jaedong narrowly takes out Puck.